Greetings, fellow freethinkers. The event you're about to watch was hosted by the Center for Inquiry, an educational and outreach organization dedicated to defending and promoting science, reason, secularism, and free inquiry in every area of human endeavor. My name is Justin Freda, and as Executive Director of CFI Canada, I would like to take a moment to tell you a bit about us. CFI Canada currently incorporates CFI Communities for Inquiry in Calgary, Montreal, and Vancouver. Over 30 affiliated student organizations from coast to coast, and of course our headquarters here at the Centre for Inquiry, Ontario. CFI Ontario, located in the heart of downtown Toronto, is the first Canadian branch of CFI, and is the first dedicated event and meeting space for all humanists, skeptics, and freethinkers in the nation. Our mandate encompasses a robust public education series, campus outreach to a growing network of student freethought groups, community outreach and social services, to provide secular and humanist alternatives to religiously monopolized services and activities, and a lending library and media center that, among other things, broadcasts videos like this across the planet. To learn more, please visit us at www.cfiontario.org, to get on our email list, or to learn how you can support our movement, such as by becoming a friend of the Center, a CFI donor, a volunteer, or to launch or affiliate a new campus or local group, contact us today at ontario@centerforinquiry.net. That's C-E-N-T-E-R. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Freda is a co-founder of Citizens for Canadian Republic and has been its national director since 2002. He studied applied arts at the Sheridan Institute in Oakville, Ontario, and fine arts and political science at Toronto's Ryerson University. Garry Toffoli is co-publisher of Monarchy Canada Publications and has written for a number of years on royal and heritage subjects, and co-authored Queen and Consort and edited Now You Know Royalty. The debate will be moderated by Dave Heppenstall of the Toronto Debate Society. So please help me in welcoming Tom, Garry, and Dave.
Thank you very much, Pam. Good evening. My name is Dave Heppenstall, and I am the Vice President of the Toronto Debating Society. CFI has invited me here to be a neutral moderator for this debate. So I'm going to keep the players playing fair and make sure that they're using their time constructively and they're not interrupting each other. Tonight's debate is a cross-examination debate. Now, of course, the first thing you think of is probably the courtrooms, and that's actually pretty close. Hopefully, in tonight's format, we're going to give each speaker enough time to speak independently, uninterrupted, to present their arguments. And then there will also be an opportunity for the other speaker to ask the alternate speaker questions and try and get details and to present some arguments for rebuttal. Now, I'm going to try my best not to interrupt people. However, in the interest of fair time, I am going to cut you off if you're going over your time limits. The speakers do have the agenda of the time, how much time is allotted for each portion, and I will be announcing that time prior to each segment. But I will be cutting you off if you start to go over, hopefully not in mid-sentence. We have done a coin toss to determine who's going first. Garry, of course, chose heads. And Garry won the coin toss, so Garry will be beginning with his opening statement of 3 minutes.
We're going to be doing everything seated, is that rather than standing up?
If you would like to stand, I guess that's CFI, if they would like to have the speaker standing or seated.
For our remarks.
I think you can stay seated.
Stay seated? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Garry, your 3 minutes begins now.
I welcome this opportunity to debate the attributes of monarchism and republicanism and their applicability to Canadian society before the Centre for Free Inquiry, Ontario, because I believe the differences between the two go far beyond the usual terms of reference in these debates, such as our ties to Britain, or whether or not one likes the Queen or the Prince of Wales, or what the latest public opinion polls reveal or conceal. The British lyricist Tim Rice, who is the partner of Andrew Lloyd Webber on musicals such as Evita, gave a not bad explanation of the role of monarchs in his other musical Blondel, which was set in the time of King Richard the Lionheart. He said the role of monarchs is to be told they're great and prevent some ass with no class being head of state. He also mocked the silly argument of Republicans that the monarchy is old-fashioned and has no future. A proto-modernist Republican in his play declares to her monarchist boyfriend, "This is the year 1189. Do you really think the monarchy will last?" Well, for a millennium, Republicans have continued to whine, "Do you really think the monarchy will last?" and have continued to put forward various asses as heads of state around the world. And monarchy continues. Why is this? There is a very simple but profound explanation that Mr. Rice was alluding to in his humorous fashion. Monarchy is the natural form of government of the human race. Republicanism is an artificial, unnatural, and therefore has been a failure throughout history whenever inflicted upon a society. As the McGill University historian Professor Harrowitz Sr. has noted, monarchy is the universally indigenous form of government of all continents. Republicanism is a European heresy that only spread to other parts of the world through European and American colonialism. Canadians have chosen to be a monarchical society at each critical point in their history. In 1776, when faced with the American Rebellion, in 1812, when invaded by a Republican army from the United States, in 1837-38, when disturbed by domestic Republicans, in 1867, when uniting to form a new country, in 1931, when gaining international independence, and in 1982, when patriating the Constitution. Sir George Etienne Cartier, the father of Confederation, who fought with the Patriots in 1837 while remaining a monarchist, and who arguably stands as the greatest monarchist in Canadian history, summed it up in one phrase. He said monarchy was the essential element of the Canadian Constitution. CFI Ontario presents three basic principles behind its mandate of free inquiry: secular humanism, reason, and science. I will address the issue tonight on the basis of my understanding of the three, and why they lead to the conclusion that the resolution Canada should cease to be a monarchy should be rejected.
Thank you, Gary. And Tom, for your 3 minutes, you may begin.
Long 3 minutes or short 3 minutes?
The 3 minutes begins when you start speaking.
First of all, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm just getting over the flu, so I'm hoping that my cough doesn't disrupt tonight's debate. First of all, thank everyone for being here, and I thank for the invitation. This is a subject, obviously, that I've been involved with for quite a while. I represent Citizens for a Canadian Republic, and I emphasize the word republic because that's a word that a lot of Canadians aren't used to hearing in the Canadian context, because it's usually heard when you say something like People's Republic or Banana Republic. But I'm going to point out right from the very beginning that the word republic has positive connotations pretty well everywhere else in the world except in monarchies. In its simplistic definition, a republic is any state in which the head of state is not a monarch. It's quite simple. It doesn't have any other connotation than that. And it's in more positive respect, a republic can also be a state in which the sovereignty is derived from the people, in which all public offices are filled by persons ultimately deriving their authority from the people. Now, in Canada, we're a constitutional monarchy, of course. And the British monarchy, and again, I want to emphasize a word here, British. We're going to hear the argument that we have a Canadian monarchy. What we have is a British monarchy that's been given a Canadian nameplate. Now, the British monarchy is the central part of our government, with the implication being that the current king or queen is the symbolic source of the power and authority of all Canadian law, and not the Canadian people. So in brief, the process we see as the most logical and practical way of evolving, I'm going over, am I?
You have 1 minute.
All right. From a monarchy to a republic is to reform the office of the Governor General and prepare it for transformation into the office of head of state, rather than the present, which is what we've got is a Governor General who is our acting head of state, our de facto head of state, who is acting on behalf of a non-resident queen. This would give us a Westminster-style republic similar to Ireland, India, several other advanced countries around the world. We'd have a ceremonial president. He does the same thing as a Governor General. We'd still have a Prime Minister. We'd still have a Parliament. We'd still be a member of the Commonwealth if we wish to stay that way. And lastly, public opinion in Canada is actually in favor of this by anywhere from 55 to 65%. It's also a subject of parliamentary debate in in Australia, New Zealand, Barbados, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines,